Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RRTG, otherwise known as the Random Road to Glory. The series where, along with no FIFA points, we use no players from the top 9 nations or top 5 leagues, aside from the greatest man to ever play this sport we call football, Carl Jenkinson. Last time out, we kicked off our weekend league journey, and I'll be real, it was a mixed bag. To start things off, we couldn't put a foot wrong. Some of the football we were playing, it was just sensational. All in all, cruising us to a record of 7-1. However, this is where things start to go a tad pear-shaped. Not bad, but not exactly good either, going 3-3 in the following 6 games and leaving us at a grand total of 10-4. Now, 14 wins is the goal, meaning in the last 6 games we need at least 4 of them to be W's. This is a situation we found ourselves in before, also a situation where we failed massively, but here's hoping this time will be different and we can finally break that 14 win mark. In order to get the job done, this will be our starting 11. I made the bold call of bringing in El Yamik and Beasley around 8 games in, just in an attempt to try and shore our defence up. Has it worked? Let's just say the jury's still out. El Yamik is quality, to be fair. As for Beasley, the writing is not on the wall just yet, but odds are you won't be seeing him come Monday morning, if you get what I'm saying. Regardless, not just the 2 of them, but all 11 of these men have a chance to etch their name in RRTG history if they can just win 4 more games of football. Let's see if we can get the job done. So, here we go. We've had the night to rest on it. We've done well to collect ourselves after 3 losses on a bounce. We've done even better just to get here, to be fair. But now it's time to fight and finally get it over the line. We'll be quite the scrap in this one though, as we've been handed Lone FC to kick things off. Why EA allow them in FUT champs will forever be a mystery to me, as it's one of them to put us 1-0 down early doors. Like I said though, we'd had our rest, we were feeling good. You need far more than just a goal to get us down, as straight down the other end. It's one touch all round, finally leathered on by Hernandez to put things all square. I admitted last episode that other fella was better than me and we just got away with one. This guy on the other hand, he was not. His loans had him clinging on for dear life. We managed to open up the gap a little. Hernandez netted himself a brace before it's Sheva just after the half to get on the score sheet, curls it round the keeper to give us the 2-goal cushion. Problem is, when your opponent's team has an average overall of 95, that cushion is more like a solo sheet of loo roll, single ply, as in just 2 minutes of football, it had completely and totally evaporated. Ronaldo bagging the both of them. 3-3, and in the game that would otherwise have been done and dusted, it was time to go again. Issue was though, the boys, bless them, we just had nothing left in the tank. It's Mbappe to give him the 4th just 10 minutes later before Ronaldo bagged his hat-trick and kills us with the dagger. 5-3, and it was a hard one to pick yourself up off the floor from. We were definitely better, just didn't have that quality come the final stretch. We had no choice but to get up and go again though, as it's straight into this next one. Another strong team, but after playing that last 11, this could have been an all-bronze squad for all I cared. We'd spent the last 90 minutes running at altitude, and this game, we were back in that cool, crisp air, and boy did we play like it. Talk about a response as we came flying out the gates. Just over 5 minutes in, and it's Torres to open up his account for the day, slipped through by Alshnez before it's coolly tucked away by the winger to give us the lead. We weren't about to rest on our laurels in this one though, not even hit the quarter-hour mark, and we're back at it again. Shevchenko this time peeling his man like a clementine and tucking it bottom left. I'd say the ball roll is his signature, but might have to add this to the list, as not long after it's a carbon copy of the first. Pins his man, turns him right this time, bags to get his brace and gives us the much needed win. Huge 3 points to send us into game 3. Did take the pressure off a little, having 11 wins in the bag, but let's be real, that's not what we're here for. 14 is the goal, meaning it had to be another win. Ferreira, he certainly got that memo, picking up right where we left off. It's the American to get us rolling, one touch out his feet before smashing at top corner and putting us 1-0 up. Unfortunately, as much as I'd have liked it to have been, it wasn't going to be the rollover job like last time. However, saying that, we were defending for our lives early doors. Took some absolute magic from Lionel to get things all square. Zero right to be netting from back there. The Argentinian, he was a pain in the arse all game, to be honest. Both Frederick and El Yamik deciding they preferred to tickle the bloke than actually put a foot in. Manages to assist Eusebio not long after to make it 2. Second half, and when I look back at the weekend as a whole, this moment right here is where I lost my head. It's Messi again down that left side, and if I don't have enough to deal with, you know, trying to mark the best player of all time, Virgin Media decided to go tits up, freeze the game, and put us 3-1 down. From then on, we were swimming against the tide. Sheva does manage to grab one back, but it was a losing fight at this point. You can tell I was in a dark place from the state of this next goal, straight from kickoff, and you guessed it, Messi again manages to take it coast to coast and really just put this one to bed. He did manage to tag on 2 more, but I was beyond checked out at this point. Mentally, I was on to the next one. Speaking of which, it is here, the make or break game of the weekend. 1 loss and we go home. Win and we keep the dream alive. It was time to see if we could bounce back and get it done. Again though, it's our arch nemesis to be the one standing in our way. Not Mbappe, not Van Dijk, but Virgin f***ing media freezes once again to give him the easy finish just 5 minutes in. I hold my hands up. I wasn't at my best this weekend. I could have played better. But this was something else. All I can say is thank goodness my contract runs out soon. Regardless, it was time to pick ourselves up and go again for probably the 4th time this afternoon. I didn't plan to make things any easier for myself though, as just before the half, it's Modric to feed Højlund through 1-on-1 with the keeper, and it is an easy finish for the Dane to double his lead. Second half, and it was really now or never. Had to come up with something and come up with something fast if we had any chance, not just salvaging this game, but this weekend. Fortunately, it's Torres to answer the call. 50th minute, a big touch to get away from his man. Centre-half is way too busy watching the cutback, making it a simple finish for the Uruguayan. And more importantly, a finish that gives us hope. Down the other end, though, is Koulibaly to throw it all away. If you just bear with me for a second, I'm going to pause it just briefly. I know I lost the ball. I hold my hands up. That one's on me. But just taking a quick look at it, can someone, anyone, tell me what is wrong with this image? I'll give you a clue, it's that man there. Why, for the love of God, is my centre-half 15 yards behind his last man? I've seen jigsaw puzzles less broken than that defensive line. Anyways, long story short, he keeps a lot of them on side, 3-1, game over, and that, my friends, is the weekend done. Well, what a f***ing shambles that was. I'd say the wheels fell off, but if I'm honest, I think that might be an understatement. The engine blowing up would be a more accurate description of that performance. I really thought we were on to something special after our flawless qualification, but goodness gracious me, I could not have been more wrong. That was quite simply atrocious. At the time recording this, I was going to bin the whole squad. Nobody was safe, but I've had time to calm down, reflect a little, and if I'm being honest, I just played like total rubbish. The squad, they weren't great, they were actually quite dreadful, but these are the same players that went unbeaten in qualifiers, went 10-1 in the first 11 games. Me on the other hand, I may as well have played the last 5-6 with my feet. It was a total mess. Saying that, at least we have rewards to try and raise the mood. As per usual, starting off with player picks, we kick things off with Mahrez. Not something I'd usually write home about, but you'll find out in a second why that was a stroke of luck. Other than that, we had the new Molina. Looks like a great card, but as per usual, can't use the fella. So swiftly moving on to the main event, the packs. The way I like to do things is we stack them up over the week and let them all rip in one go. So we tend to collect a fair few. I think even for us, this may be a high score though, as 75 we had in total. If we don't get anything decent here, I was going to say I'd be shocked, but it would just be like the rest of the weekend, to be fair. Total rubbish. Fortunately, that was not the case. We started with a double walkout, Haaland being the big pull. Also had a Kane in there once again, a Heung-min Son. He was decent. Another Haaland. There's always one every week that just won't leave me alone. A 91 overall though. Keep them coming. The pull of the week, however, was reserved for Fantasy FC Rui Costa. I thought I had pulled Paulo Futre at first. You know, it would only be right in my worst weekend ever. I'd come home with a million coin card. Tends to be how FIFA works. Regardless, not complaining, as after that had all been listed, we sat on a tidy 400k. Not going to blow through all of it. Like I said earlier, I wasn't looking for a full-on overhaul just yet. The lads are getting at least one more week to try and put things right. Saying that, I wanted a supplement, strengthen the team, namely in defence. Our quick patch up during FUT Champs, let's just say, didn't really achieve the required outcome. So it's back to the drawing board and the market. At first, I wanted Yashin. I totally agree with you, Lucas. Every time I play the guy, I may as well just build a wall in front of the goal and call it a day. He is an animal. Plus, looking at those teams, he would be the perfect RTG player. What was not perfect, however, that price. Maybe one day, but right now, yeah, not happening. So, Mendy's safe for another week, but someone who is not our fullbacks. I knew Beasley wouldn't be great, but he surpassed every possible expectation when it comes to being a disappointment. He was bad. He's hoping this man can do a tad better. It's back to North America and back to the Scottish League as we invite the Canadian Johnston to join the squad. Anticipate, jockey plus, defensive work rates. I'm hoping he can be the one to shore up that right flank. Speaking of the right flank, next was a man not in defence but would certainly help us out there a touch, and that was Carlos Vela. Been a fan of this card for a minute now. Very well rounded. A long list of play styles. Slightly behind the power curve, but a couple of evolutions just dropped that will more than sort that out as he went from the market straight into the assistant with Evo. That incisive pass plus is just dreamy. Not to be left out, a man I mentioned earlier finds his way into the pick it up evolution. Riyad Mahrez turning himself into quite the tidy little card. Not sure who's going to get the nod over him or Vela. We'll give them both a shot for now, see who I prefer. Other than that though, ladies and gentlemen, call me mad, but those are the only new arrivals. That's not to say we didn't plan to give the squad a fresh lick of paint. After moving a few pieces around, ultimately we have been left with this. The pillars of the squad remain Hernandez, Torres, Jenko. Mackenzie, however, has found his way back on the left side of the defence. His open is slightly more convincing this time around. Let's just say his first spell, it wasn't particularly promising. But I believe he has all the tools to be an absolute animal. He just needs to play like it. Of course, Johnston is now our starting right back, Vela being just ahead of him, with the final change being the Moroccan Saibari coming into midfield. Rolling the dice a little on this one, the player he replaced, Alshnez, was certainly no slouch, but once this man is fully levelled up, I'm hopeful. Tactically, we've also had a look in the mirror and made some adjustments. Previously, we played a 4-3-2-1, a very attacking formation, which I liked, but we've got to be real about the type of squad we are. While we don't necessarily have the best players on paper, I've said it before and I'll say it again, heart is where we get our 3 points from, grinding out results. So in order to do that, we'll be playing the 4-2-3-1 to start games from now on. Our defenders, they will be doing just that, defending. Will be slightly harder to create, but I don't doubt Hernandez and the gang for a second. They will find a way. So that is us for now. Whether or not it will all be enough to get those 14 wins, we will find out later this week. But in the meantime, it's back to upgrading Evos and finding out if I can still win a game of FIFA. Apologies, there has not been as many games this episode. Some of you have asked in the comments, but for those who don't know, I do have a 9 to 5, which has kept me busy this week. Haven't had too much time to actually play games, but I can assure you, at some point, we will be grinding, we will be working, all of which will culminate next episode. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, remember to like, comment and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever it is you are doing. And as always, I hope to see you next time.